Anything for July 3rd, 2025. A few minutes late. Sorry about that. I'm now doing it from my iPhone, which was not my plan when I first started this morning. I planned to do it from my laptop, from the external monitor. It's just easier to do, but for some reason, half the time, YouTube Live doesn't work from my external monitor. I've got no idea. So I get it all set up, I click it, and it just spins the little circle of death on the screen for several minutes until I eventually abandon it. So sorry about that. Had to reset everything, and here we are. Okay, let's kick things off today. Man, I'll tell you what. I've got I take screenshots of just things that I see in the private Facebook group or in the BTWB squad for Linchpin and just give those as the shout outs each week. And then I like just start going in reverse order and putting them on my screen so I can give some shout outs at the beginning. And I had to stop. I've got like 8 on my screen. I'm like, that's just I gotta stop. There's too many. So good things are happening. I'll tell you what. How are the last 3 days? Not a laughing matter, right? I don't want to speak for anybody else, but on Monday, what about kicking off the week with that deadlift thruster couplet? That changed the course of my life. That was dirty. Weightlifting, nasty couplet. Then the next day, just about as far from that workout as you can go, a 10K run. On tired legs, my friends. Tired legs. And then what was yesterday, Wednesday? Different again, a 21:59, but just body weight. Pull ups and burpees. Just so. Nothing but barbells on Monday, nothing but running on Tuesday, and nothing but gymnastic stuff and conditioning on Wednesday. Man, that was great. Okay, Kenji, I see you. Good morning. How are you? All right, let's kick this off. The shout outs are here. I'm gonna just read them. I mean, if you don't want to hear it, I don't know, go somewhere else. We're shouting out Linchpin stuff today. And I've got my hot drink here, as always with 3 kids. Somebody in the house is always sick. My daughter was sick with a nasty cough like 2 weeks ago. She got through it. Stupidly, I thought that I had avoided it because I was like good for 5 days, and then about 3 days ago it hit me. So I'm gonna try not to hack up a lung during this. Okay, hello everybody, rolling in. JK, Patrick, see you. This is from Casey. So Casey, congrats on 3 years with Linchpin. KCP, 3-year anniversary. He says, no place else I'd rather be. That's awesome. Next shout out we have, this is from Jody D. Jody D is one of the many strong, fit women that we have here in Linchpin. And she says, I've been a Linchpin member for a little over a year. I've had pull-ups for years, and I believe that because she's got quite a strong upper body pulling capacity. I've had pull-ups for years, but my capacity to string bigger sets together has never improved with past programming. Imagine my surprise when I strung together 21 easily this morning on that 21:59 pull-up burpee workout. Coach, thanks for the great programming, which allows us to spend time on strict upper body pulls using the not for time days, which translates into wins like this morning. Zero regrets about switching to Linchpin. So congratulations. And she did that workout in 5 minutes and 9 seconds, scored a level 88. Well done. Next shout out. Also from the 21:59 pull-ups and burpees. This was just, got people chatting. This is from one of our favorite Canadians, Nicholas M. Well, I guess I can still call you a recent new dad. I believe your new baby girl is less than a year old. And so he's got a busy life, busy occupation, dad, little girl at home. Time to work out is limited. And Nicholas is north of 200 pounds, strong guy, big strong guy. And that pull-up burpee workout, not a barbell in sight, all body weight. He did that workout in 3 minutes and 24 seconds. That's offensive. Scored himself a level 94 on that. So congrats, my friend. That's crazy. Also from the pull-up burpee workout, people have a lot to say on this. This is from Ash P. It says, after an absolutely brutal couple of training days, right, that deadlift thruster on day 1, the 10K run on day 2. After an absolutely brutal couple of training days, I didn't have high expectations for today. The plan was to send it and just hold on for as long as I could. Happy to say I only dropped from the pull-up bar once in the round of 15 for about 2 seconds. Guess this is proof the coach knows what he's doing. So he did that workout in 4 minutes and 10 seconds. We've done this workout before, and he improved on that workout 27 seconds faster than last time, while being sore and tired on day 3, mind you. And also 27 seconds. Man, that's a nice PR on like a 15-minute workout. But to shave 27 seconds off of a short workout, that's huge. So congrats, Ash. Really well done. Okay, a few more. There's a lot going on. Same workout, pull-ups and burpees. This is from Liam L. It says, sounds like I'm not alone in feeling pretty toasted after the 2 previous days of workouts. As far as I know, this is my first repeat workout with Linchpin. So that's cool. We did this, let's say, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, 6 months ago, something like that maybe. So this is the first repeat Liam has experienced. He's 20% faster than January. I'll take it. 20% faster. So he did it yesterday in 4 minutes and 28 seconds, which is cooking. And that was an improvement by 1 minute and 7 seconds, again, on an already short workout. 3 more shout outs. This one, also in the pull-up burpee, one from Craig S. Says, so Craig did this workout, ready? 3 minutes and 43 seconds. That is crazy. And that is an improvement for him of 53 seconds compared to the last time. He took 53 seconds off of what for him was already a sub-5 workout. And he took 53 seconds off it. He says, just a casual 53-second PR on this one. That is insane. So, wow, people are so fast, it blows my mind. Okay, this is not the burpee pull-up burpee workout. This is from our friend John W. in the community. He posted a little bit ago. Just real fast post here before I go out and cut the grass and do all these piles of laundry. I PR'd my 5K row today in 25 minutes and 6 seconds. Exactly 5 months ago, I was on the operating table for open heart surgery. Open heart surgery, 5 months later, knocks out that 5K row. So, kind of removes excuses for most people. And final shout out from that nasty but beautiful and effective deadlift thruster workout from Monday. 21:15.9, 2 1/4 deadlift for men, and a 95-pound thruster for men. The weights would be 155 for women and 65 pounds for women. Nicholas A. says, took me 25 minutes to warm up just for the idea of tackling this. And he knocked it out in 5 minutes and 45 seconds, which I don't know if you realize that that's fast, but that's very, very fast on that workout. That scored him a level 93. So, okay, those are the shout-outs. Let's go ahead and dive into it. What have we got here? Let me get all these things expanded here on my screen. Okay. All right, here we go. And before I do that, I'm going to just keep my throat okay, again, from the cold and the cough. I know what everyone's saying. Even when you don't have a cold or a cough, you're always sipping something during the show. I get it. Okay. First one from Liliana B. My question is how to tackle unilateral strength discrepancies if there is a structural or other issue that prevents catching back up to the unaffected side. I have osteoarthritis in one hip and it keeps getting worse. For example, I can use dumbbells for Bulgarian split squats on the unaffected side, but can barely do them with no load on the side with the arthritis. Even when I'm at my most consistent with PT exercises, not skipping the unilateral strength work, the gap never really narrows. The question is, keep doing imbalanced work, like the Bulgarian split squats example I just gave, or approach it in a different way, looking to preserve what strength I have but also not make the imbalance worse. Okay. Interesting question. Now, hopefully I don't have to say this, but I will. I'm not a medical doctor. I don't have that training. I don't have your scans and x rays in front of me, nor do I have the aptitude to interpret scans or x rays. So seek out advice from your medical professional. But if we're just two friends sipping a cup of coffee and you're asking me for my input, here we go. Not that all of these sorts of situations are the same, but I'm certainly familiar with this sort of issue, if you will. So, for anyone who's followed my story, I broke my pelvis in like the year 2000 while in the military during a training accident. That resulted in like two plates and 11 screws that have been in my pelvis since that day, broken on the right hand side. That caused an astonishing just imbalance in how I stand, how I walk, how I carry my weight. It affected my entire spine because it's tough to break your pelvis and not have that happen. Muscle imbalances, arthritis significantly, the whole 9 yards. That eventually led to the arthritis, bone spurs occurring, and my range of motion becoming so limited and the pain becoming so extreme on that bad side that I had a total hip replacement, I don't know, like a year and a half ago. So, and now to this day, so now I've got all that old retained hardware that's still in there, but now I've got a artificial hip, the socket, the whole 9 yards is all just new hardware. And to this day, there's a significant difference between one of my legs and the other. There's an imbalance, like 100%. So to a degree, Liliana, like I can very much empathize with where you're coming from. And when I do the Bulgarian split squats on tomorrow's workout, they're going to be significantly harder on one side than the other. On the affected side is much weaker than the unaffected side, no doubt about it. Now, my gut feeling is that you should continue to do everything that we're doing. Again, I'm not a medical professional, just two friends talking over coffee. With intelligence, right? Hopefully that goes without saying. Make smart decisions. There's a difference between pain and discomfort, like all of those things. But since we don't shy away from everything, you're going to do, movements where you've got both limbs working at the same time. Squats, thrusters, cleans, air squats, things like that. And then we're also going to do unilateral work, or whether it's Bulgarian split squats, box step ups, kickstand squats, lunges, things like that. So it's not like we're going to shy away from one, or you're just going to be getting one or just the other. You're going to get both, and that imbalance exists no matter what. Okay, so because this is how I'm interpreting your question. Question is, keep doing the imbalanced work, like the Bulgarian split squats, for example, or approach it in a different way. I mean, the different way would be using both legs, right? Like that's what I assume you're talking about. I'm just going to back squat. I'm just going to front squat. I'm just going to do dumbbell squats. Well, whether you realize it or not, if you have that much of an imbalance with one leg and the other, it's still present even with a back squat. Whether you feel like it or not, I guarantee one leg and one side is doing the lion's share of the work, and it's not this harmonious 50-50 trade-off of the load at all. So it's still there. So I don't think you're going to be able to avoid it, I guess is my point. And if you can then continue to try to strengthen that leg on its own on the unilateral days, I personally see nothing but benefit from that unless you're experiencing pain. That's a different deal. Discomfort that comes with training, cool. Pain, that's not what we're looking for. So that's what my gut says there. But I would also look into, you should be able to make some improvement with it. Why is that not happening? Is there something going on that a physician or an x-ray would show that, you need to get potentially surgically corrected? That's outside my purview right there. I won't be able to help you with that. From Matthew T.A. In your last AMA, you mentioned that portion sizes in the U.S. are bigger than the rest of the world. Well, I don't know if they're bigger than the rest of the world, but from the places I've been, they're certainly bigger. And the idea of a cheat day might be limited to America. It's not. We talk about cheat days in the UK. Food is food, I guess. In England, we currently have the Wimbledon tennis tournament, and traditionally at that time of year, strawberries and cream are a popular dessert to eat when you're watching. This year, one of our supermarkets has started to sell a strawberry and cream sandwich. Do you think this could be part of your cheat day meal? And he was kind enough to put a link to that delicious strawberry and cream sandwich in his Facebook post. And I clicked on that link and I saw the image of that sandwich. I'm here to tell you, Matthew, it looks delicious. I think I would very much enjoy a strawberry and cream sandwich. It looked amazing. Okay. Jason N. Is there a list that shows the gyms that use Linchpin programming? No. I mean, there was like a couple years ago, and honestly, I just haven't updated it. I haven't updated it in the longest time, so I'm sure that it's different. I haven't done it forever, so there's not a simple one that I can just give you right now. Probably something I should add to my to-do list. Okay, from Becky Y. Sorry, I told you I'm sick. I'm going to try my best not to do that. I'm a big cherry picker. Sometimes, and for anyone who doesn't know what that means, cherry picking means you just do the workouts that you like, or you pick your favorites. You stay away from the things that you don't like. You don't eat the broccoli on your plate. You know what I mean? You eat the tasty stuff, you push the veggies to the side. I'm a big cherry picker. Sometimes it's because of space or equipment limitations. I have access to a gym at my work 2 days a week. The other days I have limited equipment in my garage. Sometimes I'm just not feeling the programmed workout. For instance, tomorrow, I was thinking of scrolling back to the beginning of the month and picking a workout that I hadn't done yet. Will this bouncing around hinder my gains? For context, I'm a 40-year-old mom who trains with mostly dumbbells with the goal of just being the strongest looking mom in the carpool lane. Nice. That's a great goal. AKA, not trying to be a competitive athlete and not really interested in hitting any like powerlifting PRs. Also, just coming back from a herniated lumbar disc 6 weeks ago. Thanks. Okay, so let's just tackle these things one at a time. Um, will this bouncing around hinder my gains? Yes. That's just the truthful answer. Now, will you still be, even cherry picking, will you probably still hit your goal of being the strongest looking mom in the carpool lane? Yeah, I think you will. Because even if you scroll back 2, 3, 4 weeks and pick a different linchpin workout, you're going to be doing functional movements. You're going to be doing good stuff. Like good things are going to happen to your physical capacity. Now, when you say hinder my gains, what does that mean? If you mean optimally maximizing your fitness, optimally. So avoiding biases, trying to equally raise all boats at the same time. Your ability to weightlift, your conditioning, and your gymnastics. We're not biasing any of those. We want them all to go up to make you as capable and well rounded as possible. Well, to do that, you need to assure that the training that you're exposing yourself to is as well rounded as possible, like Linchpin is, which is why one of our taglines, which is we do what's effective, not what's popular. A cherry picker might not want to do some of the stuff that's effective and I'm going to lean towards over here, which is something I like more. There's a lot of stuff we program which would be easy to avoid. Um, the 10K run on Tuesday, for example. Now, if you're a runner, maybe it sings to you, but easy for a lot of people to avoid. Track days, 6x400 meter repeats, 100 meter dashes, things that people are like, I don't know, I should do that. Working on unilateral work, working on strict upper body pulling, working on your L sit. Nothing sexy or flashy on Instagram about that. There's a lot of stuff that we do that falls into that effective category, which is kind of part of the secret sauce as to why Linchpin works so well. So, if you intentionally choose to avoid some of those days, depends upon what you're swapping it in for. So you could be missing out on some of that. So could it hinder your gains? It could. It could. Um, you don't have competitive goals and things like that. You just want to be really fit and enjoy working out and enjoy walking into the gym. Then, if we're having an honest conversation, you're going to be just fine. You're still getting in great workouts. You're pushing yourself. You're watching what you eat in the kitchen. You're going to be a beast. You're going to be great. So that's what I would say about that. I had something else and it just went out. Let me read this for a second. Most of the dumbbells, 40-year-old mom trains. Yep, come back. I think you'll be absolutely 100% just fine. So that's my 2 cents on that, Becky. Will you maximally optimize your fitness? You're reducing your chances on that. Will you still be really fit and capable? Yes. And in all honesty, there's something to that, in all honesty. Meaning, it is actually a rare person. I think we have actually a lot of these rare people in Linchpin, quite frankly. It's a rare person that is just such an unwavering tower of discipline that they just wake up every day and whatever's programmed, however effective and not popular it happens to be, they're like, Roger that, boss, let's do it. What's tomorrow? Whew, Roger that, boss, let's do it. I think we get a lot of those people, which is amazing. Again, it's what I think is why it's doing what it's doing. But there's plenty of regular human beings that, have regular days and life stress and didn't sleep well and you just feel in one way or feel in another but you still want to be fit and you wake up and I don't know. You're just like, deadlifts and thrusters. Ooh, I'm just not feeling that. I can see why it's programmed. Yep, it makes sense, but I'm just not feeling that today. So my choices are, I've already made the decision I'm not going to do it. I just don't want to do it. Don't want to do it. Can't talk me out of it. So now my choices are do nothing or cherry pick a different workout. If that's the situation you're putting me in, cherry pick a different workout and you will be okay. All right, that's just real talk right there. Real talk between friends. Okay, here we go. Irene CB. I would like to ask, very polite introduction. Jordan, what's up? I see you. Irene, I would like to ask, I've done CrossFit since about 2012. Wow, good for you. What's that, 13 years? Very consistently. I've developed a lot of strength and also my skills are pretty good. I also believe my base of fitness is actually better and broader than it was years ago. But I have become slower in the workouts. It's just like I can't get intensity anymore and I can't move fast. Is this age? Is it because of age? I'm 43 years old now. Or is there something I can do to improve how fast I move as I age? I see many people still moving super fast in workouts as they age. Okay, so this is a great point because here you are, 43 years young, feeling like you're slowing down. And you're looking around, you're like, I see other people my age, here in the Linchpin community, and they're not slowing down. Some of them are even older than me, and they're not slowing down. What's the deal? Okay, without knowing a whole bunch of other things that you have going on, all of which matter sleep, nutrition, stress, recovery, the whole 9 yards, just taking it base value. This might be an unsatisfying answer. There could be something going on or there could be nothing going on. Here's what I mean by that. Sorry. Not all 43-year-olds are the same. And Father Time remains undefeated with his ability to slowly slow us down. He remains undefeated. When does Father Time creep into your life and start to put that spell on you, even though you're still training consistently? It's a little bit different for each person. And that's why not every 43-year-old is the same, not every 33-year-old the same, not every 53-year-old the same, fill in the blank. Which is also why generally I don't think like, well, here are the weights for a 52-year-old and the weights for a 45-year-old. Not all 45-year-olds are the same, and not all 52-year-olds are the same for those weights. Like, so each person is a little bit different. But it does make sense that as the years tick on, most folks tend to start to slow down, not speed up. Does that happen in your mid-30s, mid-40s, mid-50s? Different for each person. So I would make sure all those factors outside of the gym are good to go and locked in. And now there can also be a large component of just with regards to the intensity piece. Yes, there's absolutely physical capacity that's needed to perform a workout quickly, right? But if you've got that physical fitness base, you've got good strength, you've been doing this stuff for 13 years, chances are that it's there. There could potentially, and I'm not sure this is where you are, Irene, but just throwing it out there, it could be something between the ears where different people get into different phases where CrossFit hurts. Intensity hurts. Not hurts like causes you physical pain, but I mean, it burns, it stings, it's profoundly uncomfortable, and that never stops. There's some great Greg Glassman quote that something along the lines of, it never gets easier. Your times just get faster over the years, but it never gets easier. It's not like, well, I've been doing Fran for 15 years, so now I've got to the point that Fran doesn't hurt. Uh-uh. No. It still hurts and burns just like it did. The time's just different. So, but there can be, after these years, a um, you just might not be as willing to suffer. And I don't know if that's what it is. It just, after all these years, it just, you might not want to walk into that pain cave as much, even though maybe your musculature has the capacity to go there. Between the years, you don't want to go there. If that's something you think might be true, you can start to play with that a little bit and experiment. One of the things I would say is, and especially if you're 43 years old, I'm going to make some assumptions here. Um, if you are still trying to burn it down 5 days a week, that might be something to consider, the whole modulating intensity piece. 43 years old would make sense to me that maybe instead of 5 days a week you're burning it down, try to burn it down 3 days a week. And 2 of those days, allow yourself very intentionally to like not run the clock or take your foot off the gas and make it a lower intensity day to ensure that you're recovering and feeling good because you are in your mid 40s now. And but the price of that, the price of you saying to yourself, you know what, I'm going to take my foot off the gas today deliberately because tomorrow I'm going to bring the heat. I'm going to dance with the devil. I'm going to burn it down. I'm going to make myself suffer because today I chose to take my foot off the gas. And making those decision days might be something which is beneficial for you. I just lived this life the other day. So Monday, that deadlift thruster workout, ugh, put me in the hurt locker. On Tuesday, on the 10K run, I had absolutely no intention of trying to set a new PR. Didn't even look at what it was, didn't even time the run, couldn't have cared less. I just jogged. I don't even want to use the term run. I just jogged and listened to a podcast. No idea what it took me. It was slow. And I told myself, because I knew what was coming on Wednesday, that 21:59 short and sharp pull up and burpee, I said, I'm taking it slow on Tuesday because I'm going to pay the man on Wednesday. Now, whatever my time I get on the Wednesday workout, I get it. But as far as effort level goes, I'm going to bring it. This is a deliberate choice. And I knew walking in, hey, you took your foot off the gas yesterday. Today's the day. And that's what I did. And it paid off. And so things like that do work. That might be something to contemplate. Okay. Mark K. You've talked before about the benefits of getting to see the data from BTWB, all the Linchpin folks logging the workouts, etc., etc. I'm curious about that. I'd love to hear some examples of where learnings from data have impacted the way that you program. Truth be told, um, the stuff, beyond the whiteboard is amazing for tracking your data and delivering the information to people. It's amazing. You can track your own fitness journey, make sure things are going well. From my perspective, I could check in on all that stuff as well and see like what percentage of things we're doing are monostructural versus weightlifting versus gymnastics. But it's all fine, but that doesn't really truly drive the Linchpin programming. It does not. It's nice to look at, but the most useful, meaningful, influential, and powerful analysis is all the, if you read that 52-page free ebook I did on programming, that analysis, that's everything. That is everything. That, with the last, just 20 years of experience of doing this, but that analysis process is 100% the most important thing to putting out effective, well-rounded programming. And then, honestly, it's not, the data like you get on BTW, like 28.7 percentage here on monostructural and 31.8 percentage of weightlifting, because it doesn't necessarily need to be 33% weightlifting, 33% monostructural. Like the percentages, and if they shift a little bit from month to month or quarter to quarter, that doesn't matter unless you see ones at 80. 80% of the time you're weightlifting, 10% you're doing monostructural, and 10% you're doing gymnastics. Okay, like something that extreme is probably useful and indicative of like, oh, that was crazy. But if it's, just shifting a little bit left and right, what matters is like, given those shout outs, like, are people, generally speaking, most people, most circumstances, most of the time, improving across the board from short to medium to long to light to heavy? And that happens through the programming analysis and ensuring that the next 4 week block of program that comes up hits all the different various metrics that we need of gross movement patterns, time domains, loadings, low interference, high interference, long days, short days, interval days, heavy days at a high heart rate, and they have to have this symbiotic balance day to day, and also based on the weeks that just came. That doesn't come through any BTWB analysis. It just couldn't. That comes through like the analysis that I do, and actually, got stuff off camera here, but this is all for the last block that I'm finishing up now of all the, like, you can't even see all this stuff scratched on the sidelines here, like all the upper body pulling that we've done, the dates that we did at the different rep schemes that they were, all the different midline sort of things, all the different ways we go below parallel that aren't on heavy days and whatnot. There's a lot of ways, different ways to carry, all the different heavy days that occur, the days that they occur, the loads that they occurred. Then we've got, all of this other just ridiculous just stuff. And I know it's like old school on paper and whatnot, but it's also in my like Google Docs and spreadsheets and cross-referencing all that stuff. That, quite frankly, that's where the true stuff happens, not so much in the app. Although there is useful stuff there, but it's largely through that programming analysis. And if anybody wants to geek out and read on that, go to the CrossFit Linchpin website, click on ebook, I think is the tab, and you can get a free ebook. Okay. Melanie. Morning, coach. I might have missed this if it was already asked, but are you going to the games this year? No, I am not. From Rod and Diane Coachman. Hey, coach. Hope all is well. Quick question. Do you have a specific window in September in mind for running Linchpin Test 13? I'd love to promote it at our gym and turn it into an event where we can all hit it together, maybe on a weekend. That's cool. If you've already got a date in mind, that would be perfect so I can start getting the word out. So, I'll tell you right now, short answer to your question, Rod, I don't have a specific date in mind, though I probably should get on that. And, pardon me, I very much doubt that it will be one day. It will probably be, put out through BTWB as like a challenge or whatnot. I gotta try to figure out some swag or whatnot. And then it'll probably be over the course of like a 5 to 7 day window, that as long as you do Linchpin Test 13 in that 5 to 7 day window, you'll be able to submit your score. And I will most likely have that 5 to 7 day window encompass a weekend for sure. And I'm looking right now, I guess September 1st is a holiday, but other than that, there's not too much going on in September. So it'll probably be the second or third weekend in September, but I don't know which one. I will figure that out, my friend. I will figure that out because it's a good reminder that I need to get that going. Okay, let's see. Questions from the squad in the BTW private track for Linchpin. Jordan S. I want to continue with Linchpin programming until I'm old and gray. With that in mind, what should I do if something crazy happens and Linchpin programming ceases to exist? I've started reading your ebook. Oh, cool. One we just mentioned on programming. So eventually, programming my own workouts is an option. What other options do you have? Well, I mean, again, let's just say something catastrophic occurs, right? I guess what you could do is, you could just go to the CrossFitLinchpin.com website or the Instagram account and scroll back for years and years and just start over on day one and have, 10 or 12 years worth of workouts to go through. You could do that. And even if, again, I'm taking like crazy examples in my mind, even if like the Linchpin website went away because you have to pay for that, Instagram's free, and so unless somebody like went in and deleted that account, like that should just live forever. And so I would say you could go in there and just continually just start over on day one and do that. And if you wanted to right now, you could screenshot 12 months worth of workouts or something like that and just replay those over and over again. Okay, so Rashek S. Hey Pat, just a small quick question. You mentioned several times in your videos to have a quote unquote good base of strict pull ups. What's the definition of a good base? Okay, so this is just my opinion because there is no like one law in the strength and conditioning community that everyone had a meeting about and agreed upon what would be a good base. A good base for women, look to get 3 to 5 unbroken strict pull ups. Men in the 7 to 10, 8 to 10 sort of a range right there. That's a good base of strict pull ups. Don't interpret that if there's a woman watching you like, what? Like, I've got one strict pull up that I was like really proud of. Yes, as well you should be. But I'm saying, what's a good base to strive for? 3 to 5, and then 7 to 10 on the men's side of the house. Getting your first one is a tremendous accomplishment, and you should be stoked and celebrate that. And then work on getting the next one, and then work on getting the next one. And if you don't have a pull-up yet, work on getting that pull-up. And so that's what I would say. Final question from Olivia S. With regards to nutrition and meal timing, what references or resources do you recommend for people who work night shift or perform any sort of rotational shift work? Do you have personal or secondhand experience with this topic, or can you provide tips or methods? Man, so first of all, full disclosure, I do not have. I've never worked shift work, things like that. From what I've heard, shift work is extraordinarily taxing on your system. Even if you think you're tolerating it well, I guess it is very, very demanding and stressful on your system. So no, I can't give you intimate knowledge of how that is. What I would say is we undoubtedly, with all the thousands of people in Linchpin, have other individuals in that situation. So Olivia, I would take that question and instead of just posting it under the Ask Me Anything topic, post it as a general question in the squad feature for Linchpin in the BTWB app, and post it as a general question in the private Facebook group. And I think you'll get other people who do shift work. We just had somebody talk about how they did like 36 hours in an ambulance or something like that. They're first responders, and they're certainly out there. And then maybe all of you can trade tips, tricks, and lessons learned to excel there. I always do say this with regards to nutrition. My favorite resource out there is Optimize Me Nutrition from E.C. Sinkowski. I think she's great. Her content has no fluff, and it works. I don't get any kickback or referral for saying that at all. I just say it because I think it is legit. And that's that. Okay. All right, everybody. It's a rest day. It's Thursday. Wherever you are all around the world, enjoy the day, and I'll see you online tomorrow.